Hey, hi, I'm Kevin with Agape Construction, and today we're going to talk about repurposing or reusing leftover building materials. Today I'm going to focus on reusing roofing shingles. They could be removed from a roof as part of a demolition process, or they could be leftover new shingles. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to show you how to reuse those in your landscape to make a really effective weed barrier. So let's talk about the tools we need for today's operation. I've got a simple garden rake, a pitchfork, a utility knife, a wooden mallet, some basic sod staples, and then of course the 3-tab roofing shingles. Here we've got a basic 3-tab asphalt roofing shingle. We're going to repurpose and reuse these as weed barrier in our landscape. We're going to lay them on the ground. They make a really effective weed barrier. They're nice and thick, really rigid and durable, and I think in practice they're going to last at least 10 to 15 years, maybe even longer. Well, let me show you how we're going to install these. So to carry on with an installation that I've already begun, you can see that I've laid these out on the ground and I've overlapped them slightly so that weeds don't penetrate up through between the seams. The other nice feature is these shingles are tabbed, so you can interweave them if you want with each other to give you even more effective coverage. So I'm going to just lay these on the ground and I'm going to interlace a little bit just to get them worked together like so, and I can just keep laying these out on the ground in a pattern that fits the bed. In this case, I've got a nice rectangular bed, so I'm going to just lay them in and kind of lace them in a running pattern like this. One other technique I can show you, if we're working in an area where we have a curved bed, we can take these shingles and we can score them with our utility knife. Let's say we've got a curved edge that we need to recreate. I can score these with my utility knife and actually cut them with my utility knife. Snap it off, and we've got our beautiful curve. We can lay that right down in there. And if our bed had a curve, we could just continue that on. We can dispose of the leftovers, the offalls. So we lay those out. If we're in a situation where we've got a sloped surface and we're concerned about the shingles staying in place, we can take something called a sod staple or a fabric staple. You can get these at your local landscape supply store. They're just like a little staple with long arms on them. What we can do is just lay that on the shingle and hit that down into the ground, effectively locking it in place. Put one on this end just to lock it in. So again, if you're on a sloped surface where you're afraid these shingles might slide or tend to move, you can use sod staples to really anchor them in. You can lay them over the seam right here and use one staple for 2 shingles and really get maximum effectiveness out of that. So once I've got the shingles installed, I'm ready then to put a ground cover on. In this case, I'm just using some shredded oak bark mulch. I can just sprinkle that right over the top of these. And they blend in really well, and it looks like a normal mulched bed. But I guarantee you, you'll never have a weed come up through that material. Thanks for your time, and we'll take a look at some other materials in our next scene. We're going to look at reusing some tar paper.